Hello everyone, welcome to Virtual Learning. My name is Shubham and today I am going to tell you how to create a dynamic form in Power Apps. So basically the form which I am going to create will be a simple question and answer form in which we are using SharePoint list as a backend. So I will just go through one by one what actually we are trying to do. So think about it when we are thinking like there will be one form and user need to give the answer. So what you will see on the first time when the screen is getting loaded, obviously the question forms. So that's why I mentioned like we will create one screen. So in Power Apps, when we create a app from blank, by default you will have one screen there. So I will just go step by step so that it will be easy for you to understand and you will be able to implement it in your own way with whatever logic you want to perform or whatever will be your requirement. Okay, I will just give a brief on like how to create it dynamic, how to make any form dynamic, how to make repetitive controls in Power Apps dynamically. So first of all I will talk about the backend which I have already created. This is my SharePoint site and I have two lists here. One is questions which will contain some number of questions, and those questions we are going to show in the form. Okay, and then we have another list answers which will contains whatever user has given the answer for a particular questions, those information we are going to capture in answers. I will just show you the backend for both. So if you will see questions, we have one column here questions in which I have defined three questions. So these three questions will get shown in the form. If suppose I will be adding one more here, then next time when user is loading data screen, he will see four screens. So how many questions we will maintain here, those many questions the user will be able to see. So this is what we are making as dynamic in the Power Apps. And then we have another list answers. So here we have one column question. If suppose I logged in, I am seeing three questions and those three questions I have given the answer, then in that case I will be able to see my answers here. It is going to save like question 1, question 2, question 3 and my answers here. Answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. And the when I have submitted the answers. And this column talks about when the user has who has submitted the answers. So basically this is default column. I have just changed the display name of it. This is the default column of SharePoint created and this is the default column of created by. I just changed the display name. We'll go to Power Apps now. Now we will click here new app and we will select Canvas. So it will be very simple. It depends on dynamic form, what type of dynamic form you want it, what is your requirement. Based on that you need to make the logics and based on that you need to have your backend architecture, backend design. Okay, so I have just clicked on create an app. So I will not select any of this. Start with your data. Why? Because if I will select automatically default inbuilt forms and all everything will get built when we are selecting this. So we don't want it. We will build from the scratch. So we'll select this blank app. I will select tablet layout. We can select any of these two. But remember, once you select it, tablet or phone, don't later on don't change it to any other layout. Suppose I selected tablet now, I have designed everything, and then later on I am changing the layout to phone. And don't do that because the structure will get shuffled. Then you need to arrange it again. So don't do that. See, When we created an app from blank, from scratch, we got one screen already created. So this part is over now. Okay. Now we need to focus on how to create a customized form which will show the dynamic, which will be a dynamic form. So I will just rename this because this name is not good. Person screen. So I have renamed it. Now what we are going to do is like, I'm not going to design the whole UI. I will just keep a brief on it, that you can do it also for your own. So what we need to do is like, to create a dynamic form, we need to use some type of uh, actions or controls which shows dynamic values. Like suppose when you are fetching some data from the backend, from the list, you will get all the data and you will show it in a one table. So how it is doing? That's a dynamic. If there are 10 rows, it will show you 10 rows. If there are 9 rows, it will show 9 rows. So the same thing we are going to use, but the thing is, there we will insert the controls. So basically, these two things is used for table purpose. In data table, we cannot insert the controls. So we are going to use gallery. So when we use gallery, what it is going to do is like, it will we will have the option to implement the controls also. So I will just select blank vertical gallery. So now I got the gallery. Okay. Now I need to connect to a data source. So I will just change this gallery name also. Question dynamic form. Now I will connect to a data source. Just we will click connect to data, or we can select here that in the right hand side we will see the properties of this gallery, and we'll click on data source here, and then here we will search for SharePoint, as we are using SharePoint as a backend. So we'll select this SharePoint. Connect directly, so we can connect to the SharePoint of on premise. If suppose you have SharePoint 2013 or 2019 or 2016 on premises, then you can connect to those SharePoint also. The thing is, you need to have on premises data gateway installed in your server, which will allow you to connect to your SharePoint or SQL, whatever it is there in your server. With some limitations are there. So that I am going to make a video uh, later on. So right now I will select connect directly. So we are using Office 365 SharePoint Online. So it's connecting to the SharePoint. Now I need to give the URL here, which is automatically displaying here, virtual learning 2020. This is my site. I will select this and I will select questions because we need to show here the questions. We'll click on connect. Okay, and we will select edit. So if you will see these questions in the items, it comes items, basically it contains, there we need to give the table name. So our table is questions in the from the SharePoint list. So here we have these three records. Okay, so this is all are coming from SharePoint. We'll click on it again. We'll just click on refresh. Data is not reflecting here. Mm, we will just change it to none, and then we will select it again. Yeah. So we have selected the blank. That's why it was not showing anything. So if suppose I am selecting blank, there is no problem. Still we can add our own. So here we need to add the control here. For example, what I am trying to say is suppose layout for this browse gallery is blank. So nothing, no controls is there inside this gallery. So that's why it is not showing anything. So if we want to show anything, we need to create a control inside this. So suppose what controls I am talking about is like if I select title, you will see some controls is created under this title. So in the same way, if you are selecting blank, then we need to create each and every control inside this, like insert. Then if suppose you want to create the label, then we will create label, but it is created outside. To create it inside, we need to just I will just delete it. You will go here, okay, then click on that pen symbol, then you need to click on label. It will come inside this. See, it came. So I will be using I will not using blank because I need to then create everything here. I'll just delete it. I will use title 1. So I got my 3 questions. Okay, now these are the data which is showing from the backend. If there are 3 questions, it will show 3 questions. If there are 4 questions, it will go show 4 questions. Right now it is showing just questions. Now remember one thing, whenever you want to build a dynamic form, you can create, you need, suppose I have this question is Power Apps good, then I will have 2 options, yes or no. If you are doing can we build a dynamic field in Power Apps, again we will have 2 options. This question set is like yes or no only. But suppose you will have some questions in which you will have yes, no, or maybe there you want to have a text box for some questions, then in that case what you can do, so in that case we need to design our architecture in such a way that we should write logic, and the architecture will have the architecture in such a way that we can control everything in this when we are building the Power Apps. Suppose if I will just add one more column here in the questions. In questions I added one more column, whether for this question what will be the answer type, whether it's a choice column, whether it will be a text box, whether it will be something else. Those things we can do it from. So what we need to do is, suppose what I'm trying to say, as of now, if suppose you have a requirement where for this question you want to show the choice column, for this question you want to show the text box, for these questions you want to show drop down, then how we can do that? Then in that way you need to make your backend in such a way, as well as you need to add some logic here in such a way to do those things. If you want, I can make a video on that also. Just comment on it. I will definitely make the video on that. What logic we need to do, what backend we need to have it. So I will do that. For a example, I can tell you what we will do. We will just create one more column here, type of answer, and there we will mention choice, drop down, and text, and we will read each question column values here, and based on that we will show hide the controls here. If it is a type is choice, then we will show only choice buttons. If it this control is this, then we will show this. Like that we can handle it. Now coming to this part, now we have the all the questions. Now what we need is radio buttons. So in that case what we can do, we will just click on this. I will just expand it little bit so that my radio button should fit here, and I will delete some of the labels here. So I will delete this one, this is not required. I have deleted that one. Now we have this, we'll shift up. So see, whatever we will make changes to this one control, everything will be applicable to all the records. Okay, so this is my heading. Now I need to have radio choice column. So what I will do, just click inside this edit button. Okay, first we need to click if you want to insert and any controls in this form. You need to go to this form, you need to click on this edit button, and then you need to click on this input, and we will click on radio. Now see, radio button is created. So I will just change this is right now it is in vertical. I will just change it to horizontal. How? See, whatever controls you have will have some properties on the right side, as well as you can see the properties in this place also related to that control. Everything you will find it here. If you are new to board apps, then I am going to make a video in which I am going to explain everything step by step. What is screens, what are all these properties, how to use this function. Everything I will explain in details. Now see what we need to do. We need to make this in horizontal. So if I will select this, in the right hand side, we will see that property. Go to advanced. Here we will have the option. Somewhere option is there. I don't remember exactly where that option is there. Yeah, see, layout dot vertical. We need to make it as horizontal. We'll just remove that and we will click on horizontal. So now see, it came as horizontal. We'll just adjust these things. We will scroll, make it like this, and now we have our radio button here. You can select this one property from here also. See, layout is there. The same property, whatever you will see in the right hand side, the same thing will be there in this place. Okay, now right now it is showing 1 or 2. Here also it is showing 1 or 2. So we need to change this value from 1 and 2 to yes or no. So how we are going to do that? Okay, so first of all, if you will see, every control like radio button, combo box, or this browse gallery needs some data source, needs some collections, needs some object which will show those values like 1 2. Then I can have 1 2 3 4. Then or I need to have yes or no. So I right now I need yes or no because the my questions are in that way. So I will just click on this and I will go to items. This item is radio sample, which tell us like this is one collection which has this records value 1 2, and based on that this is showing 1 and 2. This we need to change it. So two things are there. One thing is like this syntax we can build it here, or in the app level you can just initialize that collection. Okay, so right now I will just make it in this place itself. So we need to give this square bracket, then here we need to have those two value whatever we want it. Okay, if suppose you want more radio button to be shown for a particular question, then again we need to give another value, something like something else. I will give some different, don't, none, an option as none. So see, my question and answer form is ready now. This thing you can define at app level also. Like how you need to define is you need to define the same array whatever we have here, and these things you need to copy and you need to put into a collection. So if you don't know how to keep in a collection, don't worry, I will explain those things in my upcoming videos, or you can follow the Microsoft MSDN also. And here also I will perform some collection things which I will be required. So don't worry, something we will cover in this, some part from the beginning thing we will be covering in the another video. Okay, so now we have three options. Now the second thing is also done, create a customized form. Now we have is another last thing, when users submits, when and how and when user can submit the form. So think like that, user open the app. Now he is seeing these questions, is Power Apps code can be this and all. He selected something, some answers. Now you want to save the data to the backend. How you are going to save it? So to save it to the backend, you will need some event. To create an event, you need some buttons or something, some other controls. Even you can use label also. So I will be using button. Label also I think we can use it because it also has on select properties. Let me see on select properties there. So yes, we can use label also. So first, but I will use button. So see, I have this button. Now if you will see button, this button I should not put inside this question dynamic form gallery. Why? Because if suppose number of questions will be more, then suppose there is one more question, then what is going to happen is like, is the login. I will show you what actually what will happen. Now if I will play the app, I have button here which is inside this gallery. Okay, and we have three questions. What I will do is like I will add one more question here. Quick edit. Is gallery good to use? I have created one more question. I will just added it. I will go to this Power Apps. See, if you have added something recently here when you are developing it and you want to you want to see it here, then in that case you need to refresh the data source. So we will go from on the left hand side we have this symbol, database symbol. We'll click on it. We'll click on this three dot and we'll click on refresh. Okay, now see, four questions are coming. Now see, button remains at the same place, but questions is getting increased, but this button did not came itself below down. Why? Because this button is inside this browser gallery. If suppose more questions will be added, I will just give you the example. I will just make this button outside of the gallery. Now this button is not inside that gallery. Now see what will happen. If I will just reduce the size of this gallery, we'll get the scroll button here. So this actually tells about this container tells about like the browser items will remain there up to this part only. Whatever section it is till it is defined, whatever boundary it is there, inside that only it is going to show. Okay, now I will change this button label. We can change it from here. You will find some text here. This will be like submit. Now see, we have the submit button also. Now everything we need to now what we will do, whenever we are clicking on submit, we will get this details, this question details, this question details, this question details, this question details, and we need to save it into the answer column. So here we need to save two things, question and their answers. And answer given by will be captured automatically. It will cap, this is a date column when the answer has been given, and this is the who has given the answer. So it will capture it automatically because these are the internal column of the SharePoint list which is created and created by. So it will automatically detect who is the logged in person and automatically create the created date time. Okay, so we will click on this and we have this on select event, and in that we need to write our function, which what it is going to do, it will save the answers in this list. Now till now we have not connected to this answer data source, so we need to connect it to. How? We will click on this data, we'll click here, we'll search for SharePoint, and then we will select this virtual learning my site where this list resides, and we'll select answers and we will click on connect. Okay, now I have the answers database or list here in my app. Okay, now I need to add my logic here. So what and how we are going to do that? So I will explain in that way, like how to debug also this thing. Now if you will see, I will just type this gallery name here, question dynamic form dot all items. So when we are hovering on this, we will see all the records which is present in this question dynamic form, as well as you will see we will be seeing these controls also, like radio 1, separator 3, title. All these things are coming up in this record. This I was just showing how to see what are the records are present. Now we have some source where everything is getting captured, which is what question dynamic form dot all items. So this is basically a control name, and this is basically the properties of controls, which is all items, which contains all the information about this table, including the information inside this. Now we need to save this information to our SharePoint. So for that, what we need to do, in this question dynamic form, we have set of data. So what you need to do, you will do for loop, and suppose if it is a JavaScript or something else, what you are going to do, you will iterate through each of the questions, and then you will save this each of this value to the SharePoint list. In that way you perform the action. But in this power apps we don't have for loop or like that anything. We have one function called for all. Okay, so if you will see here, for all what it actually does is like it will iterate through whatever collection name source you will give, it will iterate through those records, and you can perform and you can do some logic in those records. How? So it is saying what, if you will see in the it is showing source and formula. So the first argument will be our source. So our source here it is question dynamic form all items. Now we'll give comma for the second argument. Second argument is about what you are going to do with those records. So what I will do, I will iterate through each record and I will save it into the SharePoint list. So to save the data to the SharePoint list, we have another function called patch. Now we have added two arguments. One is source and what formula we are going to use. So this is another formula. Now in patch, we need to give the proper information. So if I will go to patch, you will see we have source. Source means where you are going to create the record or item. Record, second option is record. If suppose you want to update any existing record, then you need to give that record name here, like uh, some curly braces you need to give, and you need to mention id is equal to this. So if in this place, if you, means basically, if we are giving nothing here, or if we are giving nothing here, and if you want to create a new record, we need to give defaults. Or if you want to update existing record, you need to give that particular value. I will tell those things later on. So as of now, we'll just see how to create a record using patch. So now we need to give source. What is our source? SharePoint backend list, which is answers. So see, this is our SharePoint list. Okay, where we are going to save the data, comma. Now record that has to be passed. As we are creating a new record, we will give default, and under that answers. So it will create a new record. Now we have given the database source name. We have given in this parameter, we have given this will be a new record which we are going to create. We are not going to update any existing record. And the third parameter, what values this record will contain. So we need to pass in a object manner, or you can say in the array manner, in as a data type of record. So if you will see in this curly braces, we need to mention our columns and what value we are going to pass it. So the first value in answers will be question. So the internal, whenever we are doing patch, we need to use the internal name of the column. So if you will see, if I will see what is the internal name of this, we'll just go to list settings. This title I am using as question. Okay, so this is the internal name. Here it is not reflecting. It should reflect. I will just show it here. I will just go A to Z, then in this place I can see what it is showing. See, title. So the title is the internal name of this, and answer internal name is answer only. If you will just click on anything, you will get what is the internal name here. It is answer. In this one we got link title. So basically link title is nothing but title only. Okay, so here we will give title. In this column we are say going to save the question. Now this is the column name of the destination where we are going to save the data. Okay, now if here what should it come, we are doing for all, so we can directly use this control name here, because it is doing for loop, and it will just for each questions it will have different values in these controls. Okay, so we will just give the control name here. So title will be our this title 3, which is nothing but this question. So we will give title 3, that control name dot, as it is a label, we need to give text. Okay, then we need to keep comma. Another thing which we need to give is answer. We'll just select, see, I already am getting the column names here of the answers list. So we'll select answer, and where we are saving the answers in this radio 1. So we'll give radio 1 dot the selected value is showing like this. Okay, so it is saying some patch has some invalid arguments. So I am missing something, maybe here itself. So see, radio 1 dot selected dot value. but still it is showing something is missing. So what I will do, we'll click on this. As you can see, it is very difficult to identify whether the formula is correct or not. So I just expanded it. So we have this, then we have patch answers, and this default answers is also there. Then we have this, and this is the end of the patch. Where we are missing something. Let me check. I will just remove this one. See, still the error is there or not? Yes, still the error is there. So where we are getting this error? I'm just checking something we are doing wrong. One second. I will just remove this whole thing. So the wrong something is wrong with our patch function. As you can see, when I am giving here nothing, some dummy value, then this formula doesn't have any issues. And see, this options is also getting enabled. So when you have any error, this will be in disable mode. So we'll just give again patch, and we need to give source name, which is answers. Okay, then we will give default, as we are creating a record. Under that again answers, and then we need to give record in curly braces. So here we need to give the column name where we are going to save the data. So it will be title 3 dot text. See, no error is there right now. So we are going in good direction. And answer, in answer we will have radio 1 dot selected dot value. Again it is showing some issue. Oh, what is that? So if I will select this, what is happening? So I have removed the column names. Again I will give the column names here. One by one we'll see. So first is title. I'll just pass empty values to see whether still we are getting any error. Then another column we have answer. So no error is there. Now we will replace it with our actual value. So the title will have uh, that control name title 3, this one dot text. So no error. So this also worked fine. And then we will remove this answer, and we will select our radio this label for that question dynamic form for each row, and I will select radio 1 dot selected dot value, because this will give the actual information, actual value of this selected, whatever we have selected in the as an answer. So now our form is ready. Now what we will do, we'll just click on this play and we'll select some answers. None. And is gallery go to use? Yes. Is the login person normal user? No, because I am a developer. So some few questions I've added, and now I will click on submit. So see, still data is not reflected here. Now that loading symbol has been completed. Now we will see here, we'll see we have got our questions and their answers, and when answered, or as this is submitted few seconds ago, it is showing few seconds ago answer given by virtual learning, which is the login current login person virtual learning. So see, this way we can customize our dynamic form. So now it is showing 4 questions. Now if I will go and delete one question, then in that case it will show me only one question. I will just delete it. I will just refresh the data source of the question. See, now it is showing me 3 questions. I will again select none, no, yes, and will submit it. Okay, and we'll see in the answers. So see, these 3 answers got added. So this is the basic concept of how you can create a dynamic form. In coming videos, I will definitely show you. As of now, if you will see, each question is having the same controls. It is also having dynamic radio button. It is also having radio button. It is also having radio button. So if suppose we want to use text box for this question, and for this one want to use drop down. So I will make a video on that also, but I will suggest try it yourself, explore it how much you can. You can do whatever you want. There's not like you cannot do anything in the power apps. You will have some restrictions. It depends on how we are going to build the architecture. It depends on what will be the performance. It depends on how it is going to be effective. These things matters. So we need to design in that in such a way. Just let me know if you have any questions in the comment box. Thank you.